People. I mean, I gave both of you a heads up, actually. So, oh well. Yes, you are. So how's things going? I guess. Kind of do want the Demon Hunter Deluxe book, but it's probably pricey as crap. Yes, crazy. I did it again. I can't talk. Pricey as crap. Yeah, I think I was originally just going to get like the 2 CDs plus the shirt, but for some reason that wasn't there when I pre-ordered. So I got the book plus the shirt, which comes with the 2 CDs. And I think it was like shipping and all, I think it was like $70 or $75. So it was pretty expensive, but I figured why not? All I had to do was click on the notification that I was here on a bus and it was cold and I'm tired. Oh. You just got the CDs. Yeah, I would have liked to get just the CDs because, I mean, as cool as it would be to have the book, I want to have like the actual like CD cases and stuff, but I don't believe the book comes with those. If there's some left over, I'll go ahead and buy it. Yeah. It seems like, I mean, it seems pretty nice, but I still probably would have preferred to just get the regular CDs with the shirt, but oh well. I mean, I could have just got the CDs by themselves, but I like the shirt too, so I figured why not get that? So, yeah. Know how you feel? I'm more of a jewel case guy. Yeah, I don't think I have any jewel case CDs. I don't have many CDs in general, but yeah. Is your bed still made? It is. Or is the jewel case just the regular CD case? I don't know the proper terms for things. But yeah. Mom was happy they made you bring it. Oh, yeah. He was lucky to get Outlive on both versions, box set and regular jewel case. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I could just get the CDs too, but that would be an extra like $25 I'd have to spend. And I don't really want to have to spend $100 just to get these albums, even though it'd be cool to have the actual cases and everything, but oh well. And again, when Outlive came out, that was a time where I made a lot more money. Yeah. I got some money for like Christmas and stuff, so I put a little bit towards that. I didn't get a whole lot. I think I put like most of it towards that, but oh well. I was actually listening to the singles not long ago. I was on the bus, so probably like an hour and a half ago, and was listening to the singles, and I still like them. So I listened to 3 of them. The only one I didn't listen to was Peace, but I listened to the other 3. So they're looking like they're going to be pretty good just based on those songs. Look set to War and Peace. So they They do actually, I think. I think each album has one bonus song, if I remember right. I'm yeah. I can't remember. I'm gonna just look it up real quick because I can't quite remember. I think it did say it comes with some because it's the deluxe edition book. So yeah, it says deluxe version of CDs with a bonus song on each one. The bus slipped off to the side. 4 people in here just screeched. Nice. Well, crap. I don't want to die. Don't die. Yeah. It's got 2 alternative cover art prints. I'm looking forward to seeing what those are, actually, because I really like the Demon Hunter cover art. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those look like. I might do like an unboxing of it or something when I get it. I think that would be fun. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to find the deluxe songs on YouTube or something. Bonus songs will probably be on Amazon Music app anyway, so if they're any good, I'll just get them there. Yeah, they might. Although I'm not sure because I don't know about like Amazon, but I know that iTunes and Spotify, I think, don't have the bonus stuff from Outlive. So I had to find those on YouTube. And then for Extremist, they weren't up until the Extremist Deluxe Edition, like the digital deluxe came out like a year after Extremist came out. So yeah, I'm sure you'll find them at least on YouTube or something, and you can download them that way or whatever if you want. So. Amazon has the deluxe tracks available. Well, yeah, but so does everywhere else, but it doesn't have Outlive, and it only has Extremist. I would nowhere had the deluxe tracks for Extremist until the digital deluxe edition came out. I think in like 2015. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll be on there, but I wouldn't count on it. And something weird that I noticed too, for some reason, I can't find like on Spotify. It's on iTunes because I originally had it on iTunes, but for some reason, Spotify doesn't have the deluxe edition of Innocence and Instinct by Red, which is really annoying because some of the best songs on that album, in my opinion, are some of the deluxe songs. So deluxe edition songs for Outlive still aren't available. Not digitally, no. You can find them on YouTube. Like I said, that's how I got them, but you can't get them anywhere else, I don't think. You just have to do YouTube then, yeah. I'm hoping the deluxe songs will be good though, because I already got an Outlive Deluxe Edition though. Yeah, I didn't get that one. I would have liked to get the box set just because it came with some cool stuff, but just going off of the album in and of itself, I probably wouldn't have cared too much to get it. But I really like some of the stuff it came with. But I've been somewhat underwhelmed by the deluxe tracks for the last couple albums because Extremist had Augusta's really slippery right now. The bus is barely moving at this point. Well, that's not good, is it? You're already at Augusta? Oh yeah, you've been on the bus for like an hour and a half, so yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah, Extreme. Seen the red play before. If I see it there again, you might pick it up. Yeah, I would. But yeah, for some reason, I know it's on iTunes. It's not on Spotify though, which really annoys me. Hour and a quarter, same thing. Whatever. You've been on there. I didn't realize you've been on there long enough to get to Augusta. I keep getting interrupted. Extremist had what was it? Waste Me and Helpless Hope. And I actually, this might be a strange opinion for someone to have, but I actually prefer Helpless Hope over Waste Me. I do like Waste Me, but it's, I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't really go back to it that much. I mean, I don't really go back to either of them a whole lot, but. And then for Outlive, I vastly prefer Savage over Fear I Used to Know, which seems like it might be an unpopular opinion, but I've just never really. I mean, Fear I Used to Know is good, but I don't think it's that good. But I really like Savage, so. Like both songs equally. Yeah, I mean, I kind of do, but if I had to pick which one I like more, I like Helpless Hope just because. Well, I don't really know why. I just really like it, I guess. You do prefer Fear I Used to Know, but both great bonus songs. Yeah, they are. I just like Savage a little more, or probably quite a bit more, actually. Savage is actually probably in my top 3 songs on Outlive if I had to do like a top whatever. So, yeah, it's probably like my... I would say maybe even my 3rd favorite song, maybe. I don't know. I would say my top 3 are probably like, well, it's kind of hard to say, I guess, because I feel like there's either really great songs on that album or very mediocre songs, so it's hard to kind of figure it out, I guess. But yeah. I would say probably like Slight the Odds. I've always loved that one. Patience is very good. Savage. And then actually Half is Dead, which I hated when it first came out, but it really grew on me for some reason. So I don't know. You know what else is annoying? The Knives EP isn't available on CD. That's the what is it? That came after the album, didn't it? Yeah, that's... I don't... yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that is probably kind of annoying. But I'm just wondering when we're gonna get the new album, seeing how long it's been since they announced it. Pressure EP, yeah, that's it. I don't even know if I've actually listened to that one all the way through. I've listened to what was the name of the album? Anxiety or something? I've listened to that all the way through. I don't believe I've listened to the EP all the way through. I've probably heard most of the songs on it, but I just haven't like sat down and listened to the whole thing. But yeah. Not Enough and The Pain are the best songs on the EP, in my opinion. Yeah, those are good. I'm trying to remember what the songs are on that album. I'll have to look it up because I haven't listened to it in a while. Once I see the track listing, I'll know which ones are my favorite, though. I really like Fools off of Anxiety. Oh, wait, but you're talking about the EP. The EP, I don't know. I'll have to look that up, too, because I have the worst memory. I really like Common Ground. And probably Not Enough in the Pain I like as well. Yeah, that's on Anxiety. Yeah, for Anxiety, I really like Return. Fools is probably my favorite song on it, actually. Maybe like Fall Behind, too. I mean, it's been a while since I've heard them, but from what I can remember, those are probably my favorite ones. Maybe Something Divine, too. But Fools is probably my favorite song on that album. You like Return, Just Give Up, Parasites, and Idle Thoughts. Yeah, I think I remember really liking Idle Thoughts too, but I can't remember anything about like what the song sounded like. So I do like Just Give Up though. And Parasites, I think I remember liking, but I don't think it was one of my favorites. But then again, it's been a little while since I've heard any of the songs, so yeah. I think I listened to it like around September or October, maybe. That was, I think, the first time I listened to it all the way through, just because I felt like listening to it. But yeah. Fall Behind was one of the first Knives songs I ever heard, and I remember actually being a little iffy about it. Huh. Yeah, I think I really liked that one, but I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know. I just know I really like those ones that I already mentioned. Because I don't really listen to Knives that often. Now I like the song, yeah. There have been songs before where it's like I either didn't, I just didn't really care for them at first, or I like hated them, and now I like them. Like I said, there's Half Is Dead from Outlive, which on like first listen I hated like a lot, but now it's one of my favorites on that album. So I don't know. Hard to listen to Knives too much. They don't have much to dig into. Yeah, that's the problem with like newer bands and stuff, because I think there are some really great newer bands, but a lot of them only have like one or two albums out, so you kind of don't have much to listen to, which is annoying. Even some older bands like there's some a couple of I haven't listened to them a whole lot, but Emperor, which is one of the most well-known black metal bands, I guess, one of the kind of big Norwegian bands that in the 90s only has, I think, like 4 albums that they released before they split up. So yeah. And then there's like We As Human, which was a rock band that released their first album, I think, in 2013. Or their first, not their first album, but like their first one that wasn't independent. I never heard any of their independent releases, but they released their first like album on a label in 2013, and that was really good. But then the band ended up splitting up like 2 or 3 years later, just from issues that some of the band members were having. So yeah, that was quite unfortunate, because I really would have liked to see what they did next, because they performed some new songs live that were really, really good. And I would have loved to hear studio versions of those, but it just never ended up happening. Tool sadly only has 4 albums at the moment, so once you collect all of them, it's kind of upsetting, because there's nothing else to pick up from the band. Yeah, I can understand that, I guess. I know I've heard rumors that, I mean, I'm sure there's rumors of it every year, but I believe that the band themselves have said that they are intending to release something this year, but I don't know. There's quite a few bands that have been, I think, quite long overdue for another album. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, yeah. I mean, just from what I can think of, I mean, there's Tool, obviously. There's Love and Death, who released their first album in 2013. And they're still working on their second album. And they did actually put on Instagram, I think, the other day, that they are releasing something new this year, which makes me very excited. Asteroid Dying needs to put out a new album. Oh yeah, definitely. It seems like they've said a couple of times that they have actually been in the studio. It's just like one of those small little things, like in a caption on a picture or something, that like if you might just miss it, but they've said a couple of times that they've been doing some studio stuff, which is really exciting. There was another band that I thought of, and I just now forgot what it was. Oh, what was it? Can't remember. It's gonna bug me now. Don't follow Asteroid Dying on any social media other than Instagram, so I may have missed it. Yeah, I think it was like they had a one of the band members endorsed like a particular like brand of guitar or something like that, and they said that lately they've been using it both live and in the studio. So that leads me to believe that they've been in the studio. So I don't know. Brain, did you ever listen to Ryan Clark's third band, Lo and Behold? I think I heard a little bit of it. I haven't heard much. I think I like looked them up on YouTube a couple times. I don't think I've heard very much of them though. Not enough to like remember anything from it. Much as I enjoy Ryan singing, you're also not a fan of it. Yeah, I think that's how I was too. I just didn't really care for it that much, but it's been quite a while since I've heard it though. Yeah. I know there are more bands I was going to list off for being overdue for a new album, but I cannot remember them now. The Knives It Works for some reason, yeah. I think his voice goes well with the sound of knives, though. So I'm now just gonna like look through my music to see if I can remember who it was. There's Scar Symmetry. They've been working on something, and I believe they're releasing it this year. They're planning to. I think their last album came out in like 2014, so hopefully that gets released this year. What else? Solution 45 hasn't released anything since 2016, I think. But I mean, that's still fairly recent. Iron Maiden is overdue for a new album too. Yeah. I mean, it's been quite a few years since they've released something, so yeah. Oh, that's it. Winter Sun. They've been working on Time 2 for forever, and they haven't released it yet. So I'll be very happy when that gets released. People who praise Book of Souls I'd say no, but Souls was perfect into the discography. Yeah. It does kind of make you think like if they're going to be getting done anytime soon, though, because both Black Sabbath and Slayer have either, I can't remember if Slayer already broke up. I think they might actually still be on their farewell tour, but I believe Black Sabbath already broke up. So kind of makes you wonder how long some of these other bands are going to be sticking around for. Black Sabbath's last tour was in 2017. Okay. I thought it had been a year or two since they got done, but yeah, I think Slayer might still be on their farewell tour, but I'm not completely sure. It either got done very recently or it's still going on, because I know it was still happening fairly recently. Last album came out in 2013. Oh, wow. Huh. You would have thought they would have put out like a new album or something before they broke up if it had been 4 years in between, but at least that would, to me, that would be like the ideal way of doing it. Of course, that doesn't always happen, but Ozzy's great, but I think his return to Black Sabbath was probably the weakest era of the band. Huh. That's interesting, I guess. Because, I mean, I know that Black Sabbath has had a few different singers, but I feel like he was always like the most popular one. So it's kind of weird that that would be like the weakest part, I guess. I mean, it's either Ozzy or Dio. I'm not sure which one would be more popular, I guess, but a lot of their most popular albums, I think, had Ozzy on them. A lot of people prefer Dio, which is understandable. Yeah, I haven't heard that much of that era of Black Sabbath, but I've heard a little bit. Plus, I've heard some of his solo stuff, and I mean, he's a pretty good vocalist, I think. I used to not really like Ozzy that much, just his vocals, but after listening to some of the Black Sabbath stuff, I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, as far as how his vocals sound, but yeah. Oh boy, it's MJ. Called BS on that the weakest era of the band was in 1986 when they had Glenn Hughes for one album. Insane, but didn't fit with Black Sabbath. MJ Nation's here. Well, I never even heard of that. Huh. How's it going, MJ? So there's a reason for that, yeah. If that's the weakest era, then that might be why. I still gotta listen to more of Black Sabbath, though. I've only heard Paranoid so far, like beginning to end. So good, had work. Now I'm home. Already had dinner. Nice. Sounds like fun. And to listen to the Tony Martin of Black Sabbath. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to listen to more of them this year. I'll try to at least. Like History of Iron Maiden was 2010 Randall Tree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm planning to listen to more Iron Maiden, of course. Probably more Judas Priest if I can as well. Probably more Black Sabbath. Probably Megadeth too. I'll probably listen to at least a couple more Metallica albums. I don't know if I'll listen to everything they've ever done, just because the 2 albums I heard from them was my least favorite out of all of the classic albums I heard so far. But yeah, want to hear a joke? Final Frontier's better than X Factor. Oh boy. Keep yawning. More Metallica and Megadeth, the other X. Yeah. Iron Maiden's debut is kind of underrated. That's what I've heard, actually. I've heard it's a pretty good album. It's pretty underrated. So I think I've heard a little bit from it, and it was pretty good. So my head has been itching all day, and I don't know why. It's very annoying. Ranking of the Iron Maiden albums would trigger a lot of people. Nice. Probably get people triggered for having killers really well. Get so much hate for putting No Prayer for the Dying above Final Frontier. Yeah. Probably like having or was it Book of Souls lower than like top 3 or whatever. No. Still yet to figure out what's so great. Oh my goodness. Book of Souls other than 2 songs. Yeah. I mean, what I've heard of it was good, but I don't know if I would say it's better than the other stuff that I've heard. So, I mean, I haven't heard much, and it's been a while since I've heard most of it, so I don't know. But Yeah. Album has 2 great songs on it, and the rest are either pretty good or decent. Yeah. You don't want to go to church tomorrow. OMG. No church for me tomorrow. Cool. Title track's my favorite. I'm jealous. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's people being very loud outside. At least I get to eat food at College Group and sit by myself in the back. That's a plus. How ironic would it be if I stayed home from church to listen to Number of the Beast title track? That would be pretty ironic, I suppose. People do frown a lot when they look at me in College Group. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't go to any of those kinds of things, so yeah. I've been invited to stuff like that once or twice, but I've never gone. I'd get saved and listen to KO. Yeah. Oh, I'd like to try out more death metal, but my such situation's only 3 steps ahead of MJ's. Yeah. I think it works better for me because 1, I'm not at home, and 2, I get pretty much everything digital anyway. So, but yeah, I do. I haven't listened to it as much as I did last semester, but I do like a pretty good bit of death metal. So, yeah. Although I feel like quite a bit of it is a little bit different from death. They actually seem like one of the more unique sounding death metal bands that I've heard, so I don't know. But it could work too, but I only use digital when my favorite bands release singles, and that's what I do with all 4 of the new Demon Hunter songs. Oh, yeah. I'll never forget that moment when I mentioned liking Black Sabbath at college groups. The looks I got. They were talking about Skillet and Switchfoot, and I brought up Black Sabbath. Fun times. Nice. I never really got into Switchfoot. I mean, I like one or two of their songs, but I was never that much into them. Switchfoot music's kind of boring. Yeah, it's been a while since I've really listened to anything by them, but yeah. But I mean, even back when I was like really into like bands like Skillet and stuff like that, I only liked one or two songs. Randall recommended Norbit Angel one time, and I'm not gonna lie, I did like them from the one song I heard. I've heard of them before. I don't think I've actually listened to them before, but I've heard good things about them. I'll have to check them out sometime. I hear the debut is a bit out there. Really? I don't think I've heard that, but huh. I'll have to look that up. That is, well, just from a quick like Wikipedia search, says it was that their first album was one of the first death metal albums, which is pretty neat. Had a significant, says the lyrics had influence on the early Norwegian black metal scene because they were kind of Satan-y. Well, knowing Randall, he's changed a lot. Yeah, I guess. It does seem that way. Oh, I keep yawning. It's very annoying. I don't even know if I'm going to be streaming for a whole lot longer, actually, just because I'm tired. Maybe like another half hour or something. I don't know. It has been a while since I streamed, and I figured, why not do it tonight? I kind of felt like it, so. Demon Hunter could release the next Winter's Gate and still find a reason to diss on it. Yeah, maybe. I suppose. I mean, I would think with him at least, I mean, I don't really know as much with him now because he has changed a bit since when he was doing videos, but I would have thought that he would have liked everything except for like maybe recuse myself or something, although I don't really know for sure, I guess. But yeah. Sorry, Demon Hunter to go death metal. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they were a little heavier on the new albums or something. One thing I am hoping for War and Peace, though, is that, like, I hope that War isn't just, like, straight beginning to end, like, heavier songs, and then Peace isn't just beginning to end, like, less heavy songs. I want there to be kind of like Peace is fine if it's like mostly more kind of Outlive style, kind of not as heavy or whatever, but with some heavy stuff sprinkled in there. And then if like War was kind of more like True Defiance, Storm the Gates of Hell kind of thing. But yeah, I recuse myself. I think yeah. I mean, it is a pretty good song, so yeah. I will. I mean, I wouldn't mind if the whole albums were like that, but I want them to not be just like. I want them to be, because I feel like if they did that, they just wouldn't feel like full like albums. I guess if that makes sense, because they've always done like a little bit of both on all of their albums. So I feel like if it was just like all just one kind of song, then it would just get kind of old. And it'd be not as interesting of albums. Still yet to know whether or not Peace will have screen vocals. Yeah. I get the feeling that it might on, I mean, of course, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it might for like a song or two, but I would expect it's gonna, I get the feeling that album is probably gonna, just from what I would think, I feel like that will be more similar to where they were going with Outlive, where it was a less heavy album, but I don't know. It does kind of worry me that both of the singles from that were softer songs, and both of the singles from War were a little bit more heavier songs. But I would imagine that's just to put out different kinds of songs, and whatever one. Like if War is more on the heavier side, that would be a better representation of that album, and then the singles from Peace would be a better representation of that album or something. I don't know. Definitely won't be as heavy as War. I wouldn't think so. Even just from like the names of the albums, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it seems like Peace is going to be a significantly less heavy album. So yeah. Peace is barely even looking like a metal album in general, yeah. I mean, we've only heard 2 songs, but yeah. If it's more along the lines of the singles and doesn't, maybe like at most is like the heaviness of something like On My Side or whatever, then yeah. I would expect probably the heaviest thing that would be on Peace is probably, like I said, something like On My Side, maybe a little bit more, but I wouldn't expect much heavier than that. For that sounding more like a metal album from the couple singles, yeah, definitely. The thing I'm hoping for, though, I just hope that both of the albums are just good by themselves and not like just full of filler or whatever, because that tends to be the case with some double albums, and this is it's not really a double album, but it's kind of a double album. So I'm hoping that there's not just like, on each album there's like 5 or 6 really good songs and then the rest is filler or something like that. Tell Peace will be definitely be interesting though. Yeah, I mean, Peace was like the song was kind of not really a different song from anything that they've done, but it's a little more unique because I don't really feel like they've done stuff like that a whole lot. Just like from the sound that Peace has, and then Recuse Myself is one of, I would say, their most unique songs probably that they've ever written. I would say so. I was really hoping when Demon Hunter started releasing new music, NJ would want to hop aboard, but no. Yeah. Well, I guess it's not for everyone, but I don't know. Missing out. Yeah. Yeah. Something I might actually like to see on Peace. I mean, I just say Peace because I think it's more likely, but it could, you never know. It could end up on War. Would be like a piano ballad or something, because we haven't really gotten that before from Demon Hunter. I think that would be cool. I think the closest thing is like Tide Began to Rise, or there's like a piano version of Carry Me Down that was on 45 Days. But I think that would be kind of nice to see. Said it before and I'll say it again. Maybe they're one of those bands that if you don't get into them during your early Metalhead years, then the attraction isn't all there. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I got into them pretty early on. They were probably like, because I mean, I got in metalcore was like how I got into metal. So they were probably, I would say they were probably the first band that I got into. So either them or maybe As I Lay Dying. But I think I got into Demon Hunter first, if I remember right. They're just so underrated, and it's because they're a Christian band. Yeah. I've heard not a lot of people, but I've seen like some like album reviews and stuff, not on YouTube, but like just on like metal websites or whatever that have kind of trashed on them primarily and saying that they're bad primarily because they're a Christian band. So yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird to me that they are more of an underrated band, though, because, metalcore, particularly like in the mid to late 2000s, was primarily a lot of Christian bands were very, very popular. So it kind of surprises me that they weren't as popular as some of those. Cover Killer Nation refuses to talk about them. No surprise there, since he's a huge evolutionist. At least that's what he seems like to me. Yeah. Let's talk about satanic bands. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the stereotype of, the Christian bands can't make good music. Because, I mean, anybody can make good music no matter what the lyrical theme is. I mean, I know a lot of Christian bands that make really good music. I know some that make very not that great music. I know some bands that have the more, satanic whatever lyrics that are very good, and some that I don't really care for. So it doesn't really matter, I think. If you're such a evolutionist, you should hold Christianity and Satanism at the same level, yeah. Extol's a lame Christian metal band, yeah. I haven't heard a ton of their stuff, but it was okay, I guess. But I don't know. Extol aren't downright awful, but there's battle metal out there for sure, yeah. It's kind of how I felt when I mean, I haven't heard much from them, but from what I have heard, I feel kind of the same. They're not bad. I think they're fine, but I've heard better, So Chemical Nation's cool and everything, though. I believe I met him in real life back in 2014. That's cool. It's a pretty cool thing, I guess. Maybe we'll do a collab. Who knows? Although if he finds out I've been more conservative. Yeah. I actually think I might get done pretty soon here. I'm kind of tired and stuff, so. Disciple is another Christian band. It's not that good. Yeah, I tried to get into them a few years back or whatever, and I like a couple of their songs, but yeah. I've never really cared too much for them. Yes, there can be excuses made for people avoiding Christian metal, but if it's only because of the fact that they're Christian, that's dumb. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can understand, like, if they say, just aside from the religious aspect, they think generally that the music isn't as good just from, listening to it, then I guess that's understandable. But, um, I think if it's just because of the religious aspect, I don't really get that quite so much. Especially since they're willing to give Satanic Metal a chance. Really not fair. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, to me, that would be just like, I mean, first of all, you don't really have to pay much attention to the lyrics and stuff anyway, but even then, it's more of just kind of exploring a different worldview, I think. And that's kind of when I started getting into more of the, satanic kind of bands or whatever. That's kind of where I went in with it, because it was like, I mean, I'm not really going to pay too much attention to the lyrics. And if I do, then it's just trying to appreciate people with a different worldview, because I think that's something that's important. So, yeah. I think you can enjoy something without necessarily agreeing with all of the messages or whatever presented in it. I've been pretty close-minded with satanic bands, mainly because of the way I was raised, but I realized at the end of the day, it's all about the music. Yeah, it's kind of how I was too. So, yeah. So it was like, actually, I think around this time last year, maybe a little after, maybe like March-ish of last year, I started getting into like Behemoth, and I had heard some of their stuff before, but I pretty much refused to like it because of the lyrics and everything. And, then I went into it and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to listen to it. And if I like it, then I like it. And I listened to it and I was like, hey, it's not that bad. So, yeah. Still staying away from the fan bases, though, just because I'm not experienced with it. Yeah. You can respect them without being a fan, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I can understand if you don't want to get into bands like that because of, I mean, if someone doesn't want to get into them because of the lyrics, because I was at like that at one point, but I think, you can. I mean, if you just don't feel comfortable with that, I think that's fine. But I think you can also just listen to it just to appreciate the musicianship and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's another thing. No Randall Thrash fans are not required to be a fan of Slayer. Yeah, I would like to listen to them actually more at some point too, but I don't know if I will. I might, but yeah. I haven't heard that much from them actually, so. Slayer has some songs I like, but I'm not a fan. Yeah, I like "Raining Blood" because I think just about everybody likes that song. But I haven't heard that much else from them. The debut album's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Slayer's only alright to me, but I was rather listen to Metallica and Megadeth if I wanted to listen to thrash. Yeah. I mean, thrash in itself, I'm not really that big on, I guess. I mean, I like what I've heard of it. I mean, I like Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. I like Rust in Peace. There's a couple other bands that I like, but I'm not huge into. Like Creator, I think is pretty good, but I'm not like hugely into them. But yeah. I think I might actually get done pretty soon. So sorry, MJ, you came back right at the tail end or whatever. But I'll stick around for a few more minutes at least, I think. No. No. I'm tired. Good. Yeah. Probably won't be too much longer. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. I don't know, but not a real long time. Slayer, they've been around quite a while, haven't they? Yeah, they've been around since, I don't know the exact year, but I think like I would say the early 80s, maybe. Next Megadeth albums you should check out are Peace Cells, So Far, So Good, So What, and Cryptic Writings. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to listen to them more. I really liked Rust in Peace, so yeah. Story of my life. Where's the lamb sauce? No, I'm almost home, Tabby. Countdown to Extinction's good album too, but it's kind of in the same trap as the Black Album, overrated. Yeah. I've heard their newest album was pretty good too. But yeah. Dystopia's really good album, yeah. That's the name of it. Yeah, I heard really good things about that one, so I'll have to listen to that one sometime too. Is everything either overrated or underrated in this group? I guess so. No, wait, you should check out Super Collider next. Oh, yeah. Are you people ever happy? It's cold outside. Yeah, I know. It's Maine in the winter at 10:30 at night. It's going to be cold. Risk is actually an underrated album. A lot of Megadeth fans despise it. Yeah, I've heard mixed opinions on that one. So Max said AC/DC was underrated. Oh yeah, he did. Oh, who did he mention? He said Breaking Benjamin, AC/DC. Who else did he say? He said a lot of bands that are definitely not underrated. I know that much. Shut your face off. Yeah, I don't get why he said that. Guns N' Roses. Oh yeah. So he said AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, which are two of the biggest classic rock bands of all time, and then Breaking Benjamin, which is one of the biggest modern rock bands of all time. So I don't know what's up with that. 5 limousines this one. Really? Huh. Breaking Benjamin is underrated, and bands like Trivium must be really underground. Yeah. Breaking Benjamin underrated. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I would probably say they're overrated, but that's just me. I think they're good, definitely, but I think, are not as good as some other rock bands nowadays. Insomnia must be a cafe band. Led Zeppelin's so underrated. Oh, definitely. Breaking Benjamin isn't the most diverse band as a lot of individuals make them seem like. Yeah, I do think they're good, but one of the things that I don't like so much about them is that, like a lot of it does sound kind of similar. A lot of the riffs are like, if you listen to like So Cold, Diary of Jane, let me think, what else is there? Fade Away. Um, Pretty much like all of the first songs from all of their albums since We Are Not Alone, except for probably Ember. The guitar riff, like the main guitar riff in all of those songs, sound very similar. The old classic rock bands underrated. I'm amused. Yeah. We're Not Alone is their weakest, in my opinion. I agree with that. I've never really. I really like a couple of the songs on that album, but I'm not real huge on it. Saw the attraction to their sound back in early high school, but anytime I listen to them now, I can't see it anymore. Yeah, I still like them plenty. I listen to them. I mean, I don't listen to them all the time, but I, still listen to them. But yeah, I guess Ember climbed into a cabinet, couldn't get out. Nice. That cat is interesting. Breaking the Silence is too heavy for me. Oh, yeah. I think honestly, next time Breaking Benjamin announces a new album, my reaction might just be meh. Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be like that for me, just because I think like Ember was a really great album, but I don't know. She was drinking with the toilet this morning, apparently. Nice. Max, get off MJ's account. Oh, Zach. Sorry, I wanted to prove how soft I am since Madison's here, but I just now realized she isn't. Okay, then. You're not looking forward to getting up at 8. Neither am I. And how could you listen to Iron Maiden and still say Breaking Benjamin is the best? Yeah. Why is church gonna be so early? Yeah. Looking forward to sitting through 2 sermons tomorrow morning. How long do they usually last? Just out of curiosity. I bet Zach's just sitting there with a smile on his face, like, all of these people have to get up for church, and I don't. Might be able to pre-order the new In Flames album in February. Nice. I probably won't be pre-ordering it or anything, but I am looking forward to it. Iron Maiden is an honorable mention. What Star says in the top 10 stop right now. Maybe it'll snow. No, at least for around here, it looks like it's going to be pretty clear tomorrow. Sermons are about 50 or 55 minutes. Okay. So for both of them, so it'd be like 2 hours total. Yeah. Still kind of debating on it though. 2 out of 3 singles have been really good, so it could end up being a really good album. Yeah, it could. I mean, even This Is Our House, I can understand the dislike for it, but I don't think it's like that bad. But one time I want Maine down, especially snow 10 feet, and it won't. Yeah. Oh yeah, Zach. I bet you've been all over the new Bring Me the Horizon album, right? Probably will be their best since Sense of Purpose or Sounds of Breakdown Fading. Yeah, it could. You never know. Oh, oh, you've been listening to it nonstop. I actually did listen to a little bit of it today just because I was curious, and it's very pop. I didn't die. Woohoo. Yeah, yeah. It's I would barely consider it a rock album, honestly. And I don't think that's necessarily bad, but yeah, it's just weird seeing like how they were and how they are now. New In Flames album can't be as good as Just Erase or Wound Restraint, but honestly, how much could we possibly ask for? Yeah. Yeah. I think just from the singles, it should at least be a pretty good album. I don't know if it'll be great, but yeah. Getting something better than Siren Charms and Battle is good enough for me. Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't really mind Siren Charms that much. I think it's okay. Battles, I mean, I think Battles is okay too, but it's not something that I really like a whole lot. But I mean, it might also just be because I'm not a huge fan of the band right now, because I haven't listened to them a ton. But yeah, I don't know. I think Siren Charms is a decent rock album, but it's not, the same as their older stuff, of course. Both have a couple good songs, but they still are the worst albums. Yeah. I think it's a Sense of Purpose I've heard some of, and I like it, but I don't really think it's that great. I think it's that one. I remember yeah, it is that one. I had to look up the album artwork because that's all I could remember of it. Make sure you're up when I pick you up. I know you love your sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Sense of Purpose is pretty underrated. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was, from what I've heard, it's good, but it's some of the stuff I've heard I didn't really care for. I would say, like, from what I've heard in no particular order, my favorites are Lunar Strain, Jester Race, and I think Colony. Yeah, Colony. So is there anything that isn't underrated or overrated? Let me think. Uh, I don't know why I'm taking so long to think about this. Yes, probably. I would say the band Immortal is about where I think they should be. I would say August Burns Red is about where they should be. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds of Playground Fading is mixed for some people, but I don't mind it personally. Maybe it's because it was my first In Flames album. Yeah, maybe. uh, and I just sold my McChicken. She's very good at that. Again, yeah. If I were to start off with just Aretha Colony or something, I'd probably feel differently. Yeah, that's understandable. Don't eat my M&Ms. Why? You gave them to me. And you said they were for me. And that I could have them. Nice microwave. Oh, yeah. It's very nice indeed. I lied. Flames did change up their sound in mid-2000s, but it's not like they suck, which is kind of funny. Of course, some of the 2010s came, the backlash. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine if a band wants to change how they sound as long as it's done well. But the only problem with that is that it seems like a lot of the time it's not done very well. So, yeah, I don't know. But there have been times when I think it was done pretty well. Like Red, for example, with Gone, I think that was done pretty well. So, yeah. If it hadn't been, then I probably wouldn't like that album that much. But, yeah. Well, there's multiple types of In Flames fans. Some say they started to suck when Rewrote to Remain got released. Oh, yeah. Well, I think I'm probably going to be getting done. So, you won't get away from my food. Well, that's Ember for you. Next, some say they sold out at Colony. Oh, wow. So you mean to tell me they've only had 3 good albums? Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think Colony was really good. So, from what I've heard at least. So, I don't know. Took after you. Whatever. Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna get done now. Probably want to be going to bed, so. Message me. Oh, I will. Okay, take care. All right. I don't know if MJ is still around, but if so, goodbye. Oh, yeah, there he is. Take care. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I'm finishing off here. So, you guys have a good night and all of that stuff. And, yeah, see you later.